Hey, what it do, y'all? What it do? What up? What up? What up? So, for those getting into the chat, for those checking this out on the replay, first and foremost, I hope I sound real good right now. Try to move that a little closer. Just try to get my audio together here. Okay. Um, you saw the thumbnail, and the thumbnail it had like the coffee mug, and within the coffee mug it looked like galactic stars within the coffee mug, and surrounding the coffee mug was planets, okay, orbiting the coffee mug. And of course, with most coffee mugs, they sit on a saucer, flying saucer, get it? But overall, yeah, with most of the feminine gender, they usually feel at peace when they're sipping their tea or when they are sipping their coffee. I don't know. Someone can beg to differ. They sip coffee when they're at peace, and they sip tea when they want to talk about some gossip. But who knows? But the main thing is you saw on the front of the mug, it said, I need some space. I need some space. So that is the theme of tonight. One second. Hey, what's good, Brown Dude Life? What's good, Brown Dude? Hey, feel free to share my other channels into the chat as well, Brown Dude Life, if you are in the building. Okay. And what's good, Fire Pack? What's good, fam? I see you. You asked. Invading her cosmos is taking her mask off, correct? It's deeper than taking her mask off. It's deeper than that because you can invade her cosmos even though she still has on her mask. Okay, because it takes a lot for them to really uh, have the mask taken off, and even with the mask taken off, she can still have a veil behind that mask. See, it's hard for them to really want to show who they really are. But that's they really want to do that, you know what I'm saying? But it's hard for them to do that. So you can invade her cosmos without taking off her mask. Now, here's how you do that. The way you do that is basically um, by the simple fact that just the way that you carry yourself, the way that you literally approach her, the way that you talk to her. Now, I'm not talking about cold approach. I'm not talking about that. I'm just saying the way that you actually conduct yourself around her. It's in a way that you are very, very familiar with her, like you've been to her planet before. So, in many ways, this causes her not to really have a lot of her coping and defense mechanisms that she normally would have around a guy that she's never met before. You just be you, like a lot of guys say. Oh, I appreciate that, Fire Pack. Right on, fam. But yeah, you just be you, and that way, even if she don't let you know who she really is or reveals a lot of that to you, you can really sense a lot about her just given the way that she is conducting herself around you based on how you conduct yourself around her. For example, if she's willing to give you a handshake, if she's willing to let you come very close to her, and I mean very close to her to where you could actually put your arm around her and she won't feel some type of way, guess what, fam? You've already invaded her cosmos without even taking off her mask. You don't even know nothing about her, but yeah, she already feels what? Comfortable with you around. You see what I'm saying? So you said this also let me see. I see you, red pill in the wind. I see you, fam. I see you. You said rendering her suit invalid. Facts. That's facts. That's facts. Red pill in the wind. See, she has a hard time breathing on her own planet. She wears a suit, a space suit on her own planet. See why? Because her own planet doesn't have the proper oxygen. It's always toxic around her, is it not? She's always talking about this toxicity. Yet you come to her with more purity. Ironically, she will still see you as being toxic. Why? Because she's used to the toxicity. Such an irony of that. Such an irony of that. But you still have to be pure regardless. You're just letting her know, hey, I'm just filtering you out in many ways. You're used to acting like you're unfiltered, but in many ways, you're so impure that you need to be filtered. But this is for another conversation. We're not going to go there. We're just kind of slowly but surely getting into what we wanted to talk about tonight. And I'm actually going to do a continuation of this live stream. It won't be a, excuse me, it won't be a sequel, but it will be a continuation of this live stream. And I'll do that first thing tomorrow night because I don't have all my devices and I wanted to multi-stream, but I can't do that tonight. So I have to just put out bits and pieces. So basically, I do a live stream tonight, upload that to another platform besides the one that's automatically uploaded to YouTube. And then the next day, follow up with another live stream, upload that to another platform as well. So y'all see a continuation of this. So stick around. Make sure that for the next 2 nights, starting tonight, you make sure you grab your extra popcorn, nachos, hot dogs, and soda. All right, let's keep going. So, but yeah, this is definitely like a segue of the Invading Her Cosmos series that I've done with Ice Turner Sr. back in the day. So this is definitely kind of like what you would see as sort of like a mini series, kind of like similar to what Hobbs and Shaw was to the Fast and Furious franchise. So you can see that, or you can say that Invading Her Cosmos is definitely a franchise unlike any other. It cannot be duplicated. So not even by yours truly. So this definitely what I'm doing now is a segue. So if you haven't seen the first segue that I've done of this, check it out in my playlist. I renamed it. It used to be called Invading Her Cosmos, but now it's called Divinity. Look there, you'll see a live stream titled She's Dust of My Dust. So check that out first for those listening to this on the replay, and even those in the chat, check that out. And then for those for sure listening to this on the replay, listen to the rest of this particular live stream after you listen to She's Dust of My Dust. Now, just to give y'all a hint of what's to come with the next live stream, I'll go more over on this idea of her cosmosis, what that really embodies. Right now, I just kind of want to get y'all into a certain mindset of what that cosmosis consists of, if you will, what it actually consists of. And as well as everyone's input, I appreciate that because I definitely like it when everybody has input. You said red pill in the wind, becoming the charcoal canister air scrubbing device. Facts. You got to purify. You got to purify everything. Now she might not necessarily be pure. So because you got a lot of these guys that think like, he could find a feminine gender that's pure. No, she won't be pure, but you can purify her. Okay. She won't be pure, but you can purify her because it's about the way she needs to be in your environment in the first place. No different than when Eve came around Adam, she what? Came to his environment. Okay. And she did not come to his environment being a certain way. She had to be a certain way upon getting into his environment. And of course, that meant she had to what? Be his help meet in his environment. And that's still true today. That's not just a biblical analogy that I'm making, because have we not seen what it has been like when the feminine gender has Have we not seen what it's been like when when the feminine gender has not been a helpmeet in a man's life? Y'all see what it's like when they're not being a helpmeet. We've seen this, and I think it's time for a change. If you ask me, I think it's time we get back into the essence of what the feminine and the masculine represents. Uh, and then you asked, you said red pill in the wind. The question is, are they willing to put in the work? And then I think it was a typo that you did when you said, are they willing to put in the word? But that's true too if you think about it. Are they willing to put in the word, and are they willing to put in the work? Putting in the word. Okay, spread the word. You know, a lot of them don't like accountability. Well, the real woman versus the typical female will definitely put in the word, talking about this idea of accountability, but also putting in the word in regards to the way that she is amongst that man in her life. She's always being positive. She's always being representing as love and only love, nothing but love. I got nothing but love for you. Love is a verb, love is not a word, but the word represents the verb. You see what I'm saying? So she's definitely doing all of that and then some. But like you said, red pill in the wind, are they willing to put in the word and the work? A lot of them aren't, but at least some of them will. But we want to bring more of those few that will. That's what we want to talk about at this channel. We want to talk about those few that will. We don't want to keep talking about the majority that won't. We've heard enough content about this already. Okay. We want to be in a different space where we are white pill with this, right? Because we beyond the red pills, we beyond the blue pills, we beyond the black pills. We are at this different space that we call white pill over here. It's about seeing beyond the sky. The sky is not the limit. And that's what it means to be part of that cosmosis. Okay. Hey, what's good, Freeborg? Good to see you back up in the building, family. Good to see you back up in the building. Blue skies, first time seeing you. Good to see you here. And then you said blue skies is invading her cosmos submission. You know what? That's a good question, blue skies. I believe that invading her cosmos is the initiation of submission. Not exactly submission, but it's definitely the initiation of it because of more or less an invasion, but more so I see it as an invitation. Who knows? Maybe that needs to be rewritten to a certain extent. You know, you can say invading her cosmos, but you can also write it as invitation into her cosmos. That initiates, the invitation initiates the submission. You see what I'm saying? So, because you got to think, she doesn't like just something too foreign up inside of her, not just physically, but also mentally, spiritually, and emotionally. Now, of course, a lot of the ones that aren't on the right path of life, they find out later on in life that they made a bad decision on just letting foreign things into their life without thinking about it. Okay. But the truth is still the truth that for her true submission to really happen and occur, it has to be with her having positive things inside of her as well as around her. That's been the problem. And that's actually why they struggle. Most struggle with submission. And it's just because of the wrong things they've invited. They've invited within them. That's kind of what I see has been the problem. So that's kind of also why, you know, you might have some of them still blame men for a lot of their problems when really at the same time, it's like, sweetie, you have the gate. You don't have to open that gate for anybody to walk in. It's totally up to you, you know, but I just think that's kind of that's just kind of something that needs to be talked about more. It's sort of a taboo. It's sort of a taboo, but guys, most guys haven't been more illustrious, if you will, about why certain things have gone disarray. But that's why I'm here. That's why yours truly started this channel. I did this for y'all. Much love to y'all. Hey, what's good, Mr. O? I see you over there. I got a comment in your comment section of your videos one day, but you're doing good at your channel, fam. Make sure y'all subscribe to Mr. O. Build up his subscribers, y'all. Subscribe to Mr. O for sure. And then you said a red pill in the wind. You said a barren environment can be made fertile with the reintegration of the proper blooms. Yeah, yes, exactly. Like, you know, you could even make Mars habitable again. Like, I guess if we want to talk about that, I'm not really going to talk to y'all about my opinion about Mars, but I'm just saying, let's say you can just try to make a planet habitable again. Okay. It all it takes is a few plants, but you got to get into that planet first. You got to get past its atmosphere, or one can kind of do a mosh podge of words called the atmosphere. Now, what I mean by the atmosphere, like the asshole sphere, you got to get past all of her asshole, if you will, her craziness, her dispositions. You got to get past her ass whole sphere, her atmosphere, if you will. But that's kind of what it is. But once you get past that, my friend, you have truly invaded her cosmos. And this starts the cosmosis. But we're going to talk about that tomorrow night. So for all of y'all coming into the building, stay tuned for tomorrow night. I'll have this live stream set up around the same time. Now, I ain't gonna lie, yours truly did get a little tipsy. So I had to sober up a little bit. So I had to shift the times a little bit, but it's going to be around the same time. So bear with me, y'all. I appreciate y'all's patience, and I still appreciate y'all for even still wanting to stop by, because we're going to get started here. I want to really get into the meat of what I want to talk about, but for sure, we still passing the appetizers around because y'all chopping it up with me. I appreciate that. Adrian Herrera, what's good, fam? What's good? You said, does a woman experience her cosmos invaded rarely, or is it common? Hey, you know what, fam? That's rarely. It's rarely. It's not as common. Cause see, you have what? Look at it this way, and look at this way. Like, if you think about most of the guys that have been in her life, right? They're either going to be orbiters, like beta male orbiters, as they call it, or check this out. Most guys that come into her life come, no pun intended, but most guys that come into her life, they're going to be like those asteroids or meteorites that come into the planet Earth, but they disintegrate before they ever hit the ground. I mean, you see them, you know, throughout the night. You see them glitter up the sky. They make like this nice, gorgeous green color, but you never really see it hit the ground. It disintegrates before it even hits the ground. It's just a nice light show at the end of the day. Even during the day, even during the day, that's all an asteroid is. That's all an asteroid is. The asteroid doesn't even penetrate deep enough into the planet's atmosphere to touch the ground. It just disintegrates. And that's how most guys are in her life. They come into her life and they literally disintegrate or dissipate before they even get a chance to invade her cosmos. Now, there are guys that are more apt to invade her than other guys that also end up in her life, but she prevents that kind of guy from truly invading her, if you will. She keeps him outside of her planet, if you will. She keeps him away. She keeps that spaceship away. So a real man versus a typical male. A typical male, he's like those asteroids or meteorites that come into her planet through her atmosphere, but they disintegrate before they even touch the ground. But a real man, more so, uh, he's going to be like the Starship Enterprise. I tell guys all the time, you know, I like to tell guys, don't just say that you're the prize, say that you're the Starship Enterprise, because you're literally invading her cosmos. You're coming into her planet, you're coming into her solar system, and there's no way she can stop you. Now, she may try to prevent you from coming into her cosmos, but there's no stopping you from coming into her cosmos if you decided that's what you want to do. And the mood is right, the energy is right, the vibe is right. There's no stopping that spaceship, that that starship from coming into her cosmos. She knows it. She feels the energy. She just can't help herself. She's motionless. She's looking at you with them starry eyes. She feels like a little girl. She can't explain herself. She can't speak a certain way when she's around you because she like, I ain't never had nobody make me feel like this. So once again, it goes back to what you said, Adrian. It's rare that this actually happens because she mostly says that most guys come in my life, they just come and go. Or if guys come into my life, they don't invade my life in a way that you did. They mess my life up. So guess what? There is another level to some of these guys that do come into her life. You know, some of these asteroids do break through her atmosphere and they don't disintegrate. But guess what? They end up almost tearing that planet apart, just like I guess the asteroid that destroyed the dinosaurs many years ago. I guess. So you do have some guys that do penetrate further into her, but they're not there. They're not there to start a cosmosis. They're there to truly destroy her world, like a comet that's big enough will do. Okay. So this is a lot for everybody to think about. That's a good question, Adrian. That's a very good question. All right, let's continue on. You said boom, 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 boom. See, you said Wando. What's good, Wando, by the way? Good to see you. You said, well, there are thousands of hours of content teaching men how to manipulate for the WAP. So I don't really blame uh, women for the mishaps. Yeah, I mean that's kind of the sad thing, though, man. I feel what you're saying though, but it should still be up to her to not want to be misguided once she realizes that this ain't the right information for how men and women should interact. There has to be something in her that kind of goes off like an alarm clock, but most of them won't find out until what they hit the wall or they do sense that they're about to hit the wall. That yo, this or it, look, even after some of them hit the wall, they be like, you know what, I've heard this before. This sounds like the last guy that played me many years ago. Like a lot of those guys out here in these spaces talk like the same guys that did me wrong many years ago. You know, these guys that try to manipulate and all that stuff. And y'all know me, a lot of y'all that been in my channel for a while, y'all know I don't like to say the word manipulation. I've never had to do that. I've never needed game. I've never had to do none of that. Everything I'm spitting y'all is real. It ain't based on no game book. It ain't based on no cheat code. This is straight from yours truly. If anything, I give out recipes. I don't give out game. You know, so I speak to y'all straight from the heart and soul, just like your old grandma when she was in the just like your old grandma when she was in the kitchen cooking from her heart and soul, just like your Italian grandfather for all my Italian guys, right? He was up there in the kitchen cooking the good, cooking a good lasagna, capiche? Okay, this is a meal for my family. Okay, but you know you don't mess with him. Okay, because he'll turn you into spaghetti. He'll turn you into lasagna. Don't rub your Italian grandfather the wrong way. Okay, but that's what I do over here. You know, so it is unfortunate, Wando. But yeah, getting back to what you said, they still got to know better. It's still no excuse for them. I hear what you're saying, but that's why we over here. Okay. But yeah, y'all see me, and I see you, the Macosphere. I see you. Yeah, we talking, and you see my name for tonight. I call myself, uh, what I call myself tonight? What I call myself tonight? Uh, Mr. Mathematic. Mr. Mathematic, kind of like mathematic, but mathematic. Excuse me, y'all. But yeah, because this thing you got to know how to calculate. You got to know how to move a certain way with the know how to put certain equations together. Certain things ain't what adding up. Okay, so you got to subtract certain things. For example, fellas, if she's not an addition in your life, if she's not adding to your life, she's subtracting from your life, and you need to subtract her from your life. Okay. You said the Macosphere. You said, can you expand on magnetism? Similar to magnetism, but on the esoteric, on the spiritual level, if you will, of magnetism. We talk about this thing called the magnetic personality. Now, this doesn't apply to just women, okay? This idea of a magnetic personality, this idea of just having that magnetic personality. It's really just you being an individual that people feel grounded to, they feel connected to, but you have to build this energy up within yourself. You have to bring it out of you. We call this thing called reinventing ourselves. Sometimes you need to do that. Sometimes you need to repurpose yourself, get stronger in your magnetic core. We all have a magnetic core. That's why we all end up getting electrocuted, because we all have pieces of metal in us. We are conductors of electricity. Okay. So you just have to build up your energy, your metal within you to increase your vibes, your vibrations. You have to walk out the house with increased vibrations, just breathing on positivity. So that's really, in essence, what your magnetism is. You know, it's based on this idea of having a magnetic personality or magnetic personality. But really, it's just more so, if we're talking about magnetism, it's just drawing things to you, attracting things to you, but it's based on you having a better vibration, a higher vibration. You're increasing your vibrations before you even walk out the door. And you even want to have good vibrations when you walk into your home. You want your home to be straight up macking, okay? Immaculate, right? Right on for the question, by the way, Maxisphere, right on. You said blue skies. How is it possible to invade her cosmos with her independent mindset? Did you see Ringo's live earlier? Good question. I haven't checked out Ringo's live stream earlier. Um, but that's the thing, you know, a planet, we're talking about the interstellar, how you enter her stellar, interstellar, if Stella trying to get her groove back. But see, she can only get her groove back based on the way you move with her, if you will. Kind of like the movie, you know, Stella didn't get her groove back until she got around a certain guy that got her groove in a certain way. So when you enter Stella into her Stella, that's the only way she's gonna really get her groove back. It's based on how you move around her. So even though she's independent now, because of the way you are, she's not gonna always think that way. She's gonna think twice. Now let's say she wants to break it off with you, right? Things still don't work out. Now she's thinking a certain way, and it's gonna make her want to call you back. And I say this from experience. I'm not telling y'all something I don't know. I'm not some type of dating coach and nothing like that. I'm not here giving tutorials and having y'all buy merch. I'm just telling y'all from my experience. She gonna call you back based on how you move, because she sees that you don't move like other guys. On top of that, there's just certain things that don't move you, or there's certain times you just don't even move, but that's gonna cause her to see you differently. So either way, you're invading her cosmos, whether she stays or goes. But that's when you really know that you've built yourself up as a Starship Enterprise type of individual. Okay. But so I guess prior to some of this knowledge y'all have received at my channel, it's okay if you haven't really invaded her cosmos before. It maybe some of y'all have, but you just didn't know about this terminology until now. Okay. But now at least y'all know what it takes to invade her cosmos. And feel free, hit me up on my email if some of y'all want to reach me with more questions on that. I put my email out there all the time, especially those on the replay. Look into the description section, okay? And then let me see this. Yeah, catch out the replay, Brown Do Life. You already know, fam. You already know. Okay, you said blue skies. Let me get back. Let me get back to you, blue skies. You said fire pack. Why does she keep him away from her planet? Woo! Hey, that's a good question, Fire Pack. Well, think about what happens like on Independence Day when you see that big old flying saucer coming to the planet. It's going to change the whole composition of that planet, even if it's just for a few hours. You get a spaceship, no matter how big or small it is, that always represents change. So, guess what? She's keeping you away because she knows that with you comes change. It's that simple. It's that simple. Now, like I said, in regards to her cosmosis, I'll explain more about that tomorrow. But just keep in mind what it said on that coffee mug. I need some space. I'm gonna give y'all a hint. She's not saying that she needs some space because of her independence. She's saying that because of what she doesn't realize she needs to depend on. That's why she says she needs her space. But we're gonna talk about that tomorrow night. Good question, Fire Pack. All right. You said blue skies. What relevance do you give to ambition in explaining the vision of a 5-year plan, a 10-year plan, etc., to Invader Cosmos? Yeah, now Cosmosis is different from the Cosmos, though. Keep that in mind. But yeah, we'll break that down tomorrow night, blue skies. But you really never tell her about the plan. That's the thing. They don't even want to know about the plan. They don't even want to know about the plan. Kind of like how they feel when they're on the carousel. It's no different. They don't want to know that tomorrow's going to come. You know how it is. Chicks be at the club. They want to party like it's 1999. They want to live their best life, like they say. They don't want to think about tomorrow. So you never really tell her about a certain plan you have for her. She don't want to think about 5 to 10 years from now in regards to you two. Now, you might have some chicks that have their idea of a 10-year plan of what they expect out of a relationship, but they don't want to hear a guy's plan about the 5 to 10 year plan about a relationship because you're going to be more polarizing. And she might not even like what the outlook looks like once you give her an idea of what you might want out of those 5 to 10 years from now. She might already look at you and be like, you know what, you kind of making me feel intimidated right now. Like, I don't even think I'm the kind of woman you need. She'll probably tell you that off rip and walk away. So when you know she's of a certain type that you want to invade, you don't want to give too much away. If anything, you just want to see how she becomes based on the process of the invasion. You might have some chicks even now, they claim they want to be married, right? They claim they want kids. But then you put out a 5 to 10 year plan as far as how things are going to go in regards to how that needs to happen or what's going to take place upon that happening. She's going to think twice and be like, I don't know about this. And then let's fast forward it, blue skies. Let's say, like, right, the 5 year plan or the 10 year plan takes place. This is outside of the invading her cosmos, but let's just say, like, most typical relationships or marriages. She now sees that fast forward those 5 to 10 years, uh, she looking at her husband now that he's worn out from dealing with her, and she's like, had I thought about a lot of things that would take place in our marriage and we really sat down and talked about all this, sweetie, as much as I want to think that I love you, I probably wouldn't have wanted to be married to you, like, or I don't think we would have lasted as long as we lasted. So that should tell you right there, never tell her everything. Even when she expects you to tell her, don't tell her. You just have to know that she needs to be a certain way around you. And the minute you see that she won't be, that's when you let her be. And tell her there's no plan B either. And I'm not talking about that other plan B. So no pun intended. I'm just saying there's no backup plan to this. Once you leave, sweetie, there's no coming back. Okay. So whatever you thought you might regret from being around me, let's cut that out right now. You don't have to stay. Nobody's making you stay. Okay. Hey, what's good, Venom? Good to see you. Good to see you. Iron in the blood. Facts. We're conductors. We're conductors. All right. I'm gonna kind of get off into some of what I want to talk about with y'all, and I haven't even started yet. We just 34 minutes into the live stream, and I haven't even got started yet with y'all. Ain't that something? One second while I get a sip. All right. Well, I hope y'all ready. I hope y'all got y'all popcorn, nachos, hot dogs, and soda ready, because we finna drop it off right now. Now, let's talk about this, right? Here's the theme of the day. And you're hearing this in a lot of songs now. A lot of these chicks talk about how money makes them come. We hear this all the time now, right? And then you think about what took place with Dr. Dre. You know, he thought he won the lawsuit, but he still has to give her $300,000 a month. $300,000 a month. That blew my mind away. $300,000 a month to a chick that doesn't even want to be with me no more. You know, a lot of the chicks back in the old days, they would not even want a man's money. They just be done with them. Okay, we had kids together, we had this family, and I'm fine from here. I got enough going on in my life to where I'll be fine. We could even still be good friends, but I don't need your money to live. Last time I checked, I mean, I'm an adult just like you, even though I'm of the feminine, but I'm still an adult. So I'll get around, I'll do what I need to do. I'll make sure I'm right for the next man that comes to my life. But I don't need your money. So how does this tie in with the cosmos? How does this tie in with the cosmos? Well, easy. Because here's the thing. I don't know. I don't know Dr. Dre personally or nothing like that. But you would think when, if someone comes to your life and they leave, let them be. Why you got to still try to chase down a spaceship that's long gone? Let it go. Let it continue on its voyage into the outmost. Okay? Let it continue on its voyage. So I think that's the problem. Dr. Dre is going to be moving further down the road into his life, and he still has to look back with $300,000. You talk about trying to have a Hubble telescope send out a beacon to a spaceship that's long gone, still trying to get a message. I just don't think it's fair for men. So I think a lot of chicks, they do that. Like, even though they'll have men come and go in their life, you'll have a certain man that comes into their life that they want to see leave for whatever reason, but they still want something from him. That's not true cosmosis. That's her trying to destroy the spaceship or still having a way for that spaceship to be tethered to her planet, even though the spaceship will be long gone. So, in many ways, Dr. Dre will never be that far away from her. That's the sad part, I think. I think that's the sad part. He'll never be that far away from her. As much as he's trying to cut ties, it okay, if this is what she wants, let's cut ties. Why I gotta be all this other legal stuff? But now you also see it in other different situations. Like, some chicks don't want you to invade them or be invited into their planet, into their cosmos, unless there's some type of monetary thing going on. Okay, you got to buy them a few drinks at the bar. You know, now I respect a chick that don't want me to buy her drinks at the bar. I ain't even the type of guy that'll buy a chick drinks at the bar like that. But I respect a chick that doesn't want me to buy drinks for her at the bar because she don't want me to think that I'm gonna get, I'm gonna do something. Some chicks, they'll be like, most guys just want to think that I'm gonna have sex with them because they bought me drinks at the bar. That's why I don't like guys buying me drinks at the bar. And I'm like, you know what? I respect that. I can respect that. I actually can, for sure. I can respect that. Okay. Now, I want to tie in something else, and I'll get back to what y'all chatting about. I'll respond to all y'all comments in the chat, which I appreciate. But it goes back to what I said, that peace in the home. You want to keep things immaculate. And I feel that once she gets an idea of how cosmic you are, she'll never try to disrupt the peace at the home, not just her own home within her for whenever your spaceship shows up, but also just your home, period, fellas. Like, she will never disrespect you when she comes to your crib. She'll never be the type to be disrespectful in your car. So ultimately, this would be tying into her not being disrespectful to herself when she's around you. She's going to wear more respectful clothing. Hello. She's going to be more respectful with her conduct, with her language. So she's not going to cuss like a sailor around you. She will accept your correction. If you tell her, hey, I don't like the feminine talking like that. That's too aggressive. That's too worldly. I want you to be on a different uh planet with this, not on this toxic planet you've been on where you can't even wear a spacesuit in your own planet. It is sad that you even got to wear a spacesuit in your own planet. Let's go. But yeah, you also got chicks that are what coming to a man's home and try to get him robbed, like that Mona Lisa song from Lil Wayne. You know, you got chicks that will do that. You know, they'll try to. That's the thing, fellas. You never want to be in a situation where you feel like she's invading you. But see, she can never invade you because that's not the way the feminine and the masculine works. You invade her cosmos, but there are times when she could hijack your starship. You never want her to hijack your starship, okay? But let me get back to what y'all saying. Let me see what y'all talking about. You said Venom. Grounding is possible with proper conductivity and barefoot on the real earth surface, not asphalt or concrete. Facts. That's facts. Yep, that's facts. For some people, they can absorb the electrifying experience and actually become smarter and stronger. And for others, unfortunately, they are met with their demise, even though it is very rare for people to be struck by lightning. But yeah, that's true. That is very true, Venom. Um, Let me scroll down, see what everybody else be saying here. Hey, I see you, Coco, Honey, and the Bees. I see you, sweetie. Good evening to you. Much blessings to you as well, sweetie. All right. Yeah, it's always a blessing to see the women show up. You know, the ladies, the real ladies, not like the other ones. You know, we talking about ones that are striving to be real women, not typical females. Shout out to you, wonderful representation of the feminine. You said blue skies. I see. It doesn't matter who come and go. It's just the ride. Then, yeah, exactly. That. Yep. Yep. Venom, you said just understand the state of sanctioned marriage contract is a fraudulent scam. You exchange vows before Yah, but the woman marries the state and enslaves you. Facts. That's why you have to we have to do things differently. And I believe with what I've been talking about with this cosmic love is something outside of this systematic approach to the unions. And I'm not dogging that. So to those that still want to be married by the state, I'm not talking against that, but I am talking about those that want to kind of do things unconventional. There's nothing wrong with that. There's nothing illegal about that. Some people just want to do things differently because they have a different way of how they look at the way love is supposed to be. There's nothing wrong with that. And I'm all about, of course, being unbiased to a lot of those things. Everybody should want to do that. There are people that want to be married by the state for whatever their reason is, but there are also other people that don't need to be married by the state. Especially like with what Venom said, exchanging your vows before Yah. You can exchange it before Yah or exchange it before the state. It's up to you, but hey, conventional versus unconventional, you know, basically that's what it comes down to. But we're talking about, I guess you can say I'm talking about the unconventional without me really admitting to that, but I can say that, some people who hear what I'm talking about, it does sound kind of unconventional. But I'd like to say that what I'm speaking on is very ancient, that, people just haven't tapped into these truths. And somehow I have. I can't explain it. I haven't read any books, y'all. I promise y'all. I'm not here reading books every night. And I love reading. But there are times I believe that something is spoken to me. Hard to explain. Venom, you said, facts, if you have to be buzzed or tipsy, you're not worth me or my interest. Yeah. Facts. Hey, what's good, cool gent? What's good, family? What's good? Good to see you as well, fam. Good to see you once again. Yep, that's it. Facts, Venom. Yep, the real ladies are always welcome and appreciated. Blue skies, you said is invading her cosmos meaningful or one night stands. Apparently, it doesn't matter who comes and goes. It's just a ride. No, invading her cosmos is meaningful. It's not a one night stand at all. The carousels are the one night stand, and we hear about the carousel all the time. Okay, but carousels are just earthly. You can't even say they're planetary. The next planet probably doesn't even have this thing called the carousel. They have different technology. But yeah, carousel is just an earthly concept. Cosmos is a very outer worldly concept. So it's definitely not about the one night stands with the cosmos. You're trying to do something to her that will last eons. No different than the galactical things that they come from many places that are many light years away. And even when these engineers have to design these rockets, these space shuttles, these satellites have to endure similar to a lot of these materials that come from many light years away. Most of these materials that these scientists have made up are, yeah, they're literally made up, but they have to have similar composition to a lot of these very ancient rocks that come from outer space. You have to have similar composition to the galactic cosmic composition. And so a lot of love and relationships need to become more cosmic. Again, what we have are things that are more temporary versus things that are representing of the eons. You have things that don't last that long. In many ways, the eons don't appeal to the peons in many ways. Okay. You said, Wando, use trusts and powers of attorneys instead of state marriage. It's the same legal structure plus financial protection. Oh yeah, that's true too. I didn't know that, Wando. Right on. Appreciate that. Coco Honey and the Bees, you said invaded her cosmos is non-attachment. Oh, it's attachment. It's definitely attachment. Coco Honey and the Bees, because a man is leaving that impression upon your planet when it comes to your atmosphere. So it's definitely an attachment type of a situation. Definitely. But it takes a certain guy, just as it took a bad asteroid to come through your planet and destroy your planet, it takes a good starship to come to your planet, invade it, if you will, or you invite the starship and actually help your planet to revive itself, to last longer, to be stronger. Maybe that starship has to abduct you. You might have to say, Coco, you might have to say, beam me up, Scotty, and he beams you up, but he puts you on and he helps your planet. He helps your world. He helps your atmosphere. He makes it a little clean around you. The air makes it cleaner. So it's definitely attachment. Definitely. You said boom 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 boom. You said Venom invaded her cosmos is the real connection, and sex or physical intimacy is not necessary. Right, right, right. And see, it's always a secondary. You know what I'm saying? Like intimacy is the sexual. It's kind of a dual purpose with intimacy. Intimacy is the sexual without sex, but it's also um the non-sexual without sex. A lot of people don't know that about intimacy. Intimacy is not sex. A lot of people don't know that. But yes, invading her cosmos is a real connection, just like what Venom said. It's definitely like something truly based on a connection, not just an observation, but observations are good too. You know how many people observe when the solar eclipse shows up? Everybody stops what they're doing to put on those wonderful shades to check out that eclipse. So invading her cosmos is definitely, it can be very observational. It'll make her want to stop in her tracks because there's something about your magnetic personality that wanted her to what? Look up at the sky as you're coming through the atmosphere to whisper something into her ear. Hello, my dear, right? and she knows that you're being very sincere. You show up, you're the type of guy that's going to show up once every light year, if that, if that. Okay. You said, Coco, invading is a deep connection, which the man retained non-attached, which the man remained non-attached because she might walk away. Uh, no, 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 no. Here's the thing: the man, when he invades you, sweetie, he doesn't really think about if you're going to walk away or not. Okay. Um, what happens is that he knows that he's left an impression on you. So he um he definitely is always mindful of the attachment you two can have together. Um he doesn't dispute that. He doesn't shun that, if you will. He welcomes that because obviously he wanted to invade you in the first place. There's something he wanted to put inside of you that he knew was for you. Okay. So it's this idea that if you take heed to what he's put inside of you, that's a win-win situation for both of you. Winning this, winning in this life, not trying to win at the game. You winning in this life. I see life as a race. I don't see life as a game. Okay. But you take heed to whatever he wants to put inside of you that he believed that was for you. You know, this souvenir from the alien that he is to you. You take heed of that, it's going to be a benefit for you, and it's going to be cool for him because he's like, cool. I got somebody that appreciates that, okay? And he's going to be around. He's not going to not have feelings for you. He's going to appreciate you because you appreciate him, okay? So that's how that goes. But now, if you also walk away, I mean, he has that in mind as well, because not every planet, just like not every soil is going to reap a good harvest. You know, you got some guys that come off a certain way, and they're kind of like these characters off Star Wars that want to come to planets and destroy planets, kind of like that asteroid. Okay. So that's a good question, Coco, because there is a difference. Okay. But no, a guy that truly wants to invade your cosmos, not destroy your cosmos, he's not thinking about you walking away. But at the same time, he's not going to be so pressed if you did either, because of the fact that really it comes down to this. He know he put something inside of you that will always leave an impression on you. And he hopes that one day that you take heed to that. But um, obviously in the best interest, you don't walk away. You want to stay, you want his starship to stay around. But yeah, we got to get back to having these deep connections. We really don't. Yep, that's facts, Venom. The spiritual beyond the physical. Facts. Facts. We're really spiritual beings living out this human experience. We really are. We really are. You said, you said blue skies. You said, have you been successful in invading a woman's cosmos recently? Can you please explain further? Well, good question, blue skies. Well, you know me, for the lack of better words, because we don't need people, excuse me, for the lack of better words, because we don't need people thinking that they can read my mail or have receipts and things like that about me. Uh, I'm gonna just say that I'm aware of a lot of things, and I'm gonna explain more about what I am aware of in the next live stream, the continuation tomorrow night, given the date of this live stream. So I'm gonna explain more. But in regards to me personally, I won't put too much of my information out there right now. But let's just say I'm aware, and hopefully, based on what I'm aware of, that I will explain tomorrow, you can read between the lines if you know what I'm talking about. But that's a good question. That's a good question. I'm glad you asked that, Blue Skies. I'll answer that question to the best of my ability tomorrow night for sure. But yeah, even hopefully now with what I'm saying, sort of gives you an idea. Okay. But yeah, if you haven't checked out the Cosmic live streams like this one. Like I said, go on my playlist titled Divinity. You'll see that I've done it invading her cosmos live stream. You'll see the name of it there a couple of times, and then you'll just see other live streams that are cosmic relating to this one here. And that is sort of also once again build up this idea that you kind of know I know something, even though I ain't telling everybody. You said, Coco, he sounds like an orbiter because if she likes him, she will be with him. Mm, that's a good point, Coco. No, but here's the thing though with the orbiters. See, that's a dual purpose, and I'm glad you brought that up. I might as well talk about that now. I might as well talk about that now, sort of. It's a duality. It's a duality. Some could say probably dichotomy, but she has orbiters, but she also orbits them. You see what I'm saying? So um, now she doesn't orbit a real man. She orbits the typical males, or she lets those typical males orbit her. Now, a real man doesn't even orbit her either. He doesn't surround her like the at sign. He doesn't do that. You know, he doesn't come at her. He literally comes to her. Okay. He is direct. He doesn't hover around her, seeing when he's going to code approach her, wait on her choosing signals. No, he's going to be direct with you, sweetie, just like a spaceship is, just like, I won't say the asteroid is because, like I said, the asteroids, they show up to destroy the planet. Okay. But the spaceship is direct too. Okay. But see, also, she'll be direct with him too, though. She won't orbit that real man either, sweetie. What will she do? And if she can, she'll try to find a way to get a space shuttle up to reach him. But sometimes the man has to make his presence known to her first. But ladies, pretty soon, y'all gonna have to learn how to build them space shuttles to reach to a lot of these kind of men. They're out here. You see something you like? Jump on that space shuttle. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Hey, babe. Hey, you got a few minutes? Let me introduce myself. Nice to meet you. Boom. You start off like that. Let's go. You said Venom. I have not been doing, have not been dating or seeking relationships in over 2 years, but I have loved ones who are reciprocal of the connection that was made many years ago. Boom. Once again, that's facts, Venom. True connections last for a lifetime. They last for eons, just like the planetary, the true galactical material compositions. They last. Like I said, even those that have to engineer these space shuttles and these satellites, these telescopes, they have to make them last for eons. They have to be able to endure the outer space, the re-entry of the planet. They have to be able to endure that. So that brings up another thing, a guy being built like that spaceship that can re-enter, do the re-entry of a planet. They have to be made of titanium and stuff to endure going through the atmosphere, the asshole sphere, the atmosphere. They have to be able to endure that extreme heat. You're gonna have to endure a lot of heat from her, fellas. I ain't saying you're gonna simp, but I'm just saying, like, endure meaning like no matter what she throws your way, it ain't gonna matter. You just gonna be looking at her like, really? And she's just gonna be like, dang, this don't do nothing to him. Me yelling, me cussing, me fussing, that don't do nothing to him. Like, she ain't gonna know what to say. Now, even when you tell her like, yo, I could walk away, like that's gonna also make her feel some type of way because she's used to guys getting emotional. She's used to guys wanting to bend over backwards after she yells and cusses them out because they want to keep her in their life. So they're like, I'm sorry, I didn't mean for you to trip out like that. What can I do to make this up or how we can work this out? No, real man versus a typical male, he's not going to put up with that. He can endure a lot of that asshole treatment and he could walk away at the same time. if he felt like it. But if at that given moment, if she acts a certain way and then she say, you know what, I shouldn't have acted out like that. I'm sorry. Sometimes I be tripping and I don't know, you're just a different kind of a guy. Okay, that's plausible. That's plausible. That's plausible, you know. So that goes back to what Wando said earlier about how, a lot of guys be manipulative out here. So, it's plausible for a guy to know that when he encounters most of the feminine gender, she could act a certain way with her disposition, but then she gonna have to fall back when she realizes that you're a little different than those other guys, okay? Mister, oh, you said how you know you're the main astronaut, but not of the many orbiters in her cosmos. Mm, that's what's up, Mr. O. That's dope. Well, here's the thing, Mr. O. The way you know is because you're not always around her. The orbiters are what? Always around her. You got things to do. You got a life to live. Okay? You might check up on her sometimes. You just call her like, hey, how you doing? And if that sparks a conversation, cool. If that sparks her to want you to spend some time with her, that's cool too. But you're not on her DM. You're not hitting her up all the time. You got things you're doing in your life. I used to be big on the chicks spending time or staying in touch, and I still am. But it's based on, when I show up and she's available. Okay? Because I realized, yes, with most of female nature, they'll walk away. They'll have other things they're doing. They don't really see you as important, right? So the way you are different than the beta orbiters, if you will, is that you just don't be around her often. You're like that starship. You're off into other planets. You're out there in the galaxies and the cosmos. But every now and then you stop by, you come by at warp speed, or you teleport, like, on Star Trek. You come back through and you check on her from time to time. And, over time, she going to what? Want you to be around her a little more often. So that's how you'll know that you're a different kind of an astronaut. You're the astronaut versus the orbiters. That's exactly how you'll know, Mr. O. You said blue skies. Uh, invading her cosmos is a deep connection, fondness. It can be non-sexual. Sounds like a good friend. Oh yeah, I mean friendship is the foundation, but it's not a friend zone. Totally different. Venom, you said when even if life takes them on another path, they still love and respect you, even if they are married. Do not covet. That's always important to know. Facts, Venom. That's important to know. You said, Coco. Yes, if she likes him, she will be with him. That's it. That's it. And then you also said, Coco, invading her cosmos is like you left a good, memorable impression on her. If she likes a man, she will move mountains to be with him. Facts. She will stop what she doing. She'll just whatever. She'll make time, and that's key, fellas, because that's exactly what you want. That's the kind of lady that you want in your life. That's the kind of lady that you actually need in your life. So don't be caught up in the hype. That's really the key. The one that actually wants to spend time with you, that's the one. And the one that's not too needy and she respects your space, if you will, and she knows that you come back through, that's the one. That's the one. Because a lot of those typical females that aren't real women, they do this with the bad boys all the time. Do they not? They do this with the bad boys all the time. So how come they can't be this way with a real man that's not trying to manipulate them like the bad boys always do? I'm waiting. I'm waiting. I'm waiting. All right. You said blue skies. If a woman is not interested, she's walking. It's no complex explanation. Facts. If she's not interested, she's going the other way. But you also have those now, given what you said, there's, like I said, that observation period. She might not be interested in even the starships. She don't even like the spaceships, if you will. She's used to the airplanes. Those kind of guys, those earthly, worldly type of guys. She don't want nothing that's galactic, interstellar, planetary, cosmic. She don't want guys that are out of her world, not just out of her league, but out of her world. She don't like those kind of guys. But she might have a curiosity for you. She might make what an observation for you. She has her what telescope out on you. She's probably even spying on you a little bit. But that's as far as it goes. She might even let you invade her cosmos, but not fully invade her cosmos, because maybe your spaceship is too much for her planet to contain as well as handle on a regular basis. Something to think about. You said Fire Pack. The other Ray J, what is the end goal with invading her cosmos? Good question. Good question. Well, that's the thing. Um, to be honest, fam, there is no end. Because it's just like what I've said before when I'm Buzz Mac here, to infinity and beyond. You want her to know of everlasting. That's something that she's never experienced, because what? She's used to things coming to an end all the time. So the fact that you represent everlasting, always abundant. I'm not talking about abundance mindset, but just being everlasting in abundant. That's something that she's never been used to. And if she can get that from you, she'll never leave you. She'll never want you to leave her. So that's kind of really it. The goal, the beginning goal versus the beginning goal. I mean, the beginning goal versus the end goal, if you will, Fire Pack. That's what invading her cosmos is all about. Leaving that what? Everlasting impression. Something that she's never had. She's not used to everlasting. She's used to things not lasting. You see what I'm saying? Facts, Coco. Masculine energy. Boom. Facts. And then you said also, Coco, Angry Man's live stream explained it well. The thugs have masculine energy. It sounds illogical, but I understand. But see, here's the thing about that. Here's the thing about that. Here's the thing about that. They have an illusion of masculinity. They don't have true masculinity. It's just a facade, because it all kind of dies out after so long. It's a mirage. Why? She's thirsty. She out there in the desert. She's looking at the first thing over the horizon and it looks appealing. But then she gets close enough to it with it, like she gets close enough to the bad boy with the bad boy, but realize that it's still dry sand with them. They just did enough for her to work a little harder to get a little closer to that horizon, but to realize that there's nothing there. She at the horizon, but there's nothing enterprising about that guy. He's not an enterprise. He's not a Starship Enterprise. It's just like what Venom just said. Pseudo masculinity. That's what it is. So yeah, tying it with what you said, Coco, it is illogical because that's what it really is. Because it's pseudo. But they don't know that. So even though Angry Man said that, that's not entirely the truth. It's still pseudo. Because we see what the results are in the end. There's many guys that are going to court right now because of how they brutally murdered some chick like that and her kids because of whatever he felt inside, whatever that is. So whatever she was drawn to, she's in for a bad awakening if she doesn't find another place to sleep, if you will. You know what I'm saying? Oh yeah, I hope you never deal with a guy like that, you know. And I'm not saying guys like that are bad, because you know I've been around OGs. You feel me? And it's about them turning their life around. So that's what I say about that. OG, my acronym for OG is once grimy. Okay, that's my acronym for OG. Okay, so it's about guys turning their life around. I have no problem with a dude that once lived a certain way, but you turned your life around. Just like I have no problem with a chick that was once a certain way, but she turned her life around, especially when I invaded her cosmos, starting that cosmosis that I'm going to talk about tomorrow night. I'm going to get more into the details because I'm just chopping it up with y'all tonight. I haven't really even started to cook in the kitchen. You know what I'm saying? I haven't even started to cook in the kitchen. That's what's crazy. I went a whole hour with this live stream and I haven't even started to cook in the kitchen with y'all. That's what's crazy about this live stream. in a good way. You said Wando, LOL, the real criminals don't even have many women around them. No, they don't, or they don't want many women around them. That's the thing. They'll rather get rid of them. They will rather get rid of a lot of females that are around them because that's just the way their mind is. A lot of people don't get that. A lot of people don't get the asexual nature. They do not get the asexual nature of most real criminals. They don't. Hey, I appreciate that, Fire Pack. Right on, fam. I appreciate that. Then you said, Coco, the market decides if a man put the work in, he should attract the right woman. Yeah, in that type of world, we can see that with the way they define the market. It depends on what you mean by putting the work in too, Coco, because when we're talking about real masculinity, the only work a man needs to do is within, to build up his vibration, to build up his magnetism, and that draws in more, that attracts more. Once he gets his own magnet stronger, that's really all the work he has to do. His real work is within. That's his real work. Now, this other work people talk about, all this with the market and all that, to a guy that's keeping it immaculate, you don't need the market. You just need you. You are your own advertisement in many ways. And not that you're even trying to advertise. It's like a Rolls Royce or a Bentley. They don't advertise, but people still want them. People are still what? Drawn to them. You see what I'm saying? Let's go. Let's go. You said Venom, heat up the deep fryer. Yeah, you already know, fam. You got to put the right kind of oil in the deep fryer. I don't know what kind of oil y'all use. Now I found out about that grapeseed oil. I was like, oh, there's some good oil right here. Now I didn't even know that certain oils have certain temperature points. Like certain oils get hot at certain temperatures. And obviously that's because those oils are not the same. But I just now started learning more about this with oil, like their boiling points and things like, and it determines the flavor of the food that you're cooking with in the deep fryer. All right, let me chop it up with y'all a little bit more. Then we're gonna wrap this up here for tomorrow night. Okay. Now, I guess I'm gonna get into my closing thoughts before I get into my closing statements. Because I got so much I'm gonna chop it up with y'all about tomorrow night. And make sure y'all come back tomorrow night. I'm definitely gonna go through with this. Um, let's see, this live stream overall, just getting y'all started with what I really have to say. This live stream gets rid of the idea of a transactional connection. It's about a spiritual connection, not just a transfer of energy, but a reciprocation of it. Then again, one could argue that you can still have a one can argue that you can still have a transactional connection with the transfer of energy too. And I say that because some people just only want you for your energy. Why do you think you got these hotlines? People call. They want to hear somebody's voice on the phone. They might say they want to hear Ray's voice over the phone. I'll pay like $9.99 to hear Ray's voice for a couple of minutes. You know, like how back in the day it was. And we're going to get to a point of where it's going to get that way again. We got guys that pay for chicks to come over just to cuddle. You pay for a cuddle session. It's crazy. And of course, you got chicks that pay for gigolos. That's nothing new. And then you also got guys to go to brothels. They pay just to have a chick sit around with him while he plays a PlayStation. He just wanted somebody to talk to, a nice, gorgeous looking thing. He just wanted a nice, gorgeous, foxy little thing that he could talk to while he playing a video game. Because he just wants that exchange, some type of intimacy. Because he doesn't get that in real life. So it really depends. But we want to get rid of this idea that it has to be transactional. I don't even want y'all to feel like you're paying with your time either, because you don't want to waste time just like you don't want to waste money, right? So we're trying to get rid of that. We want to put a lot of things into the right place of where It's just cosmic. It connects right, because we want to get to the point of where when you get around somebody, it connects right. Like when you are truly connected with the right person, you do not argue. Y'all don't fuss and fight like that. Y'all don't be wanting to break up like that. Y'all don't be wanting to go your separate ways. Even if y'all mad at each other, you're not gonna be the type that's just gonna be quick to run away from the person. You know what I'm saying? When you truly connected with somebody, that's how it be. That's exactly how it be. But we got to get back to that. We got to get back to this cosmic connection. Forget a love connection. We're talking about a cosmic connection. You said, Coco, life is competition to some extent. Men have to compete as well as women for a relationship. Some don't, though, and it works. But see, when you say life is competition to some extent, that's what people have made life out to be. But that's not the way life really is. Okay, and you don't have to go that way in life. Now, when you say also men have to compete as well as women for a relationship, that's for guys that don't know any better. But when you know better, you really don't have to compete. You don't. You don't have to compete. All you have to do is increase your vibration, because it's all about just really having a relationship. It's not about you competing for a relationship. That's a different mindset. Because when you're just trying to make sure you have a relationship per se versus competing for a relationship, why do you have to compete for that relationship based on the type of relationship that you know you want to have? You see what I'm saying? So it throws a lot of the competition part out the window, especially in regards to life, like you just said, Coco. When you think about the type of life that you really want to have, why you have to like compete in a lot of things that people try to throw your way in this life, not what life throws your way. A lot of people like to say that term so loosely nowadays. So when you think about that, you just get away from a lot of things that cause you to have to feel less than. Everybody's special on this planet. There's a special gift everyone has. Everyone has something special about them. So you should never feel like there's the sense of you having to compete or be a certain way just to get a certain result over someone else. Say that to a lot of people that have special needs. Say that they have to compete. Well, it is kind of this thing now that they got the Paralympics, but that's a side note. But even with that, you know, people just want to feel that there's something special that they have that they can contribute to this planet, that they don't feel less than, regardless of their state, their condition, their physical uh, abilities or disabilities. You know, this whole world has totally flipped on its head. And, you know, I'm not saying I'm trying to get it right. I'm not even saying I can save the world, but I can at least make a difference. But I'm glad you brought that up, Coco. I'm really glad you did, sweetie. You said, Venom, anything other than internet is a distraction. We have knowledge and wisdom in our essence and genes. Learn to look within and tap in. Facts. And that's all I'm doing here. That's all I'm doing here. Y'all think I looked at some book? I did some research. I didn't do none of that. Now, yeah, I had to look in the dictionary for some things I wanted to talk about just because of the English language being the way it is. I don't want to be prone to misinterpretation. But outside of that, I didn't look up nothing. Tap in. I'm tapped in. That's the best way I can say it. Just like Venom just said it. And y'all could be tapped in too. And I believe that those in this chat are tapped in or you're tapping in. Because otherwise, why would you be here? And I appreciate y'all being here, especially those that are tuning in on the replay show. Let me see what else y'all said right quick. Boom, boom, boom. You said, Venom, natural alignment, one of the rarest and purest connections possible. Facts. And that's what invading her cosmos is all about. Speaking of that, Blue Skies, you said invading her cosmos. You say cosmosis, but it's all good. Invading her cosmos is a deep connection. It could be friendship. Yeah. Friendship should always be the foundation. Always. That should always be the foundation. You know? Just like when she said in that song, thank you for being a friend. Thank you for being a friend. She didn't say thank you for being in the friend zone. Now you make that very clear to her. There's no friend zone. Okay. You said, Coco, you increase your vibration to be her friend, a deep, friendly connection. No, no, sweetie. Based on the deep vibration a man already has, that friendship becomes deeper based on him already having that. But he didn't have to increase his vibration in order for that to happen. Does that make sense? Hopefully that does. But yeah, he didn't have to increase his vibration for that to happen. Okay. He already had an increased vibration. But because of that increased vibration, when he got around her, that deep friendship only got deeper. But that's also based on her being drawn to him. And she's liking his vibration. And she's liking his connection. Now, if she doesn't, that's because she's not accepting his vibration. Pretty self-explanatory, if you ask me. Perfect timing podcast. Perfect timing podcast. Good to see you once again, family. Good to see you once again. Let me see this. But yeah, we are definitely going to chop it up once again tomorrow night around the same time that I started. So what? I'm at the hour and 21-minute mark. The hour and 21-minute mark. So I guess if you rewind that time, here is 11:51 Eastern Standard Time because I'm on the East Coast right now. I'll be traveling, y'all. but uh but yeah, I'll be I don't know, I'll probably schedule a live stream around, I guess, for those on the East Coast about, I don't know, 9, 10 o'clock Eastern Standard Time. So that's about 8, 9 o'clock Central Standard Time. And then, yeah, you go backwards based on the time zone. So I'll try to reschedule for around that time. And we'll continue to chop this up because there's definitely more I want to talk to y'all about just to kind of continue this, but also wrap it up. But this is all based on the Invading Her Cosmos live stream that I did with Ice. But this is definitely a segue, a perfect segue of that, because I get to more so explain more in detail to y'all in ways that I can't do when I'm on a panel with someone else, because everybody needs their turn to speak, if you will. So yeah. You said Coco, when the friendship is a quote unquote foundation and she don't want to take it further, what then? But see, that's the thing though, Coco. It's all self-explanatory. Like, cause she realizes that this guy doesn't even want to be her friend if she's not willing to take things further. Based on conversations that a certain guy will have with her from the beginning of what his true intent is with her. He'll just remind her or let her know that friendship is still important at the end of the day when it's all said and done. Because she's never really had a true friend before. She's had all these so-called boyfriends, but she really wasn't like a friend with them. She was just more so friend with a boy, if you will. She wasn't really friend with a man, a real man. So uh and she needs to build that up once for all. Like she's never really had that with a guy that she can build from their intimacy. You said Coco, can she just be a lifelong friend? Uh Now that's getting on to the topic of platonic friend. Now that is someone that a guy has known for quite some time, that he never had in mind to invade. Now he may have tried to throw her shot because there's also been conversations about that too that I've heard from the past. Some chicks that be like, well, and this is no shot at the rainbow community, what I'm about to say. So I want to put that disclaimer out there right now. But you'll have some chicks, they'll be like, well, I thought I thought homeboy was kind of suspect because I know we were friends and we've been around each other for many years, but he never once tried to like go at me a certain way. At least tell me that I'm not your type, but at least let me know something. He never did. He never told me I was his type or not, or he never came at me a certain way. So I kind of know like he has this certain energy about him that just sees me as possibly something beyond a friend at times, even though I am his friend. Okay. So there's that clause. So I think, yeah, with someone that could be a lifelong friend, because I can attest to this, I have lifelong friends. And I have thrown my shots at those female friends before, right? But, sometimes it didn't go as I thought it would. She would get mad, but not in a way that she's mad at me, because she has other things. She's dealing with these orbiters, and sometimes she takes things out on me. That happens, okay? But there are the others where I threw my shot at them, and they were like, Ray, you silly, but you so cute. Like, I ain't gonna lie, you handsome. I mean, if we was drinking on a certain night, I might just like, I might just want to take it. You give it to me, Ray, I might just want to take it. Not just physically, but also even emotionally and spiritually. But there has to be that element. You know, uh, there has to definitely be that element of a guy wanting to go at her a certain way, even though they are just friends. But at the same time, even if he went even if he went at her a certain way, what I'm saying, the foundation is still a good friendship, someone that she knows um, she has a deep bond with, more than all the people that walk away. And this is whether it's masculine or feminine. She has people that have come and go out of her life, even her family. But with the guy that has invaded her cosmos, she sees him like she would see family. But yeah, that deep friendship pretty much makes her feel like, he's not just some guy that I have an intimate connection with. Like, I do see him as like family. I do see him as something deep. Like, it is a deeper friendship or a bond that I can't explain. He truly left an impression on me that will never go away. Blue Skies, you said, so the ultimate aim of invading her cosmos is a relationship. Friendship is the foundation. Well, no, the ultimate aim of invading her cosmos, or the ultimate aim of the starship invading her cosmos, is the impression. You know, so the impression uh, builds that connection. She'll always be connected to the impression, just like we see craters. This Earth is connected based on all these craters. We have history on these craters. You see them dig up artifacts, and geologists, they do all these studies. When they could break down the different layers. You can always reflect upon things that took place during a certain time when this asteroid hit the Earth, if you will. Or if there's artifacts that you think come from other places, maybe a UFO did show up here. Maybe something took place. So yes, the impression based on the connection. That's the ultimate aim for the starship invading her cosmos. You said, Wando, the friendship needs to come after attraction, though. Facts, 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 Wando, because it has to be familiar with what the attraction is, or what a thing is attracted to. So yes, that familiarity is important. Very important. Yes, indeed. Uh, you said Coco, the other Ray J. Then she's not that interested. If she's single slash available, she would have taken it further. Yeah, I mean, she would have taken it further if she really felt connected. And ultimately, once again, it's up to how she feels connected to that certain vibration. It's ultimately going to be up to her. That's why it's called an invasion, or, as I said earlier, an invitation. The man is not forcing anything on her. He's just there. He passes through, but he has a curiosity for her planet. He has a curiosity for her cosmos that he knows could be invaded, that he knows would have a good reception upon invitation into her planetary system. He knows this already, but she needs to know that. Now, she might not be interested and walk away, but that's a certain impression there too, because why? She's going to see her planet get jacked up and more corrupted, and she's going to look back and think about that one time she let that starship get away. And then you said Mr. O invaded her cosmos as being her leader, daddy lover, and master. Yeah, buddy. All of that and then some. Yeah, man. In a good way. In a very good way, ladies. But yeah, the chick that's not interested, yeah, when she knows that there's a possibility something could work out, it'll be long after the fact, after her planet has already got jacked up. Uh you said Coco, the woman chooses, do you agree? That's a good question. Um for the most part, yes, but that doesn't mean that's the way it's supposed to be. She's supposed to be more so attracted. She's not really supposed to be choosing. Choosing is kind of that game talk, if you will, the choosing aspect. But it's more so what she actually accepts versus what she chooses. Going back to that invading of her cosmos, she accepts the invasion, okay, via the invitation, and this brings out that submission, okay, because of this trust, this comfort of something that's alien to her. Hopefully, this live stream made sense to some. Maybe this live stream did not make sense to others, but to the others that this live stream made sense to, feel free to hit that like button, especially those listening to this on the replay. This your first time coming to this channel and you like my content, whether it's my uploads or my live streams, definitely more in store. So make sure that you subscribe, share this live, as well as my other content, including my archives. Just check out my playlist. You'll see that it consists of a lot of different things that I've already put on this channel. And for those listening to this on the replay, look into the description section. You'll see the different channels that I have. Make sure that you subscribe to those other channels as well. I'm also on other platforms. Yes, I am on other platforms. So follow me. I'm also on IG. I should also have my email within the description section too if you want to reach me. And make sure that you hit that notification bell so that you get my uploads and live streams in real time. Okay, even for those that are already subscribed to this channel, make sure that y'all do that. And I did notice that my subscription numbers have been fluctuating, and I don't know why. I know it's not necessarily that people have unsubscribed, because I have subscribed to channels as well, but for some reason the next day it'll make it seem like I unsubscribed even though I never did. So some of y'all probably have to resubscribe. Okay, so you said Blue Skies, it don't matter how it's supposed to be. A woman is attracted or not. Well, here's the thing, Blue Skies. It actually does matter. That's the problem now. Things have made it to where a lot of things don't matter. And then you said it's not complicated. It's not complicated in the way it should be. But right now it is complicated because of the way things aren't supposed to be right now. A lot of things have changed. Okay. That's the problem. So whether we want to kind of beat around the bush, and I'm not saying you are, but the problem is I like to get right to the point. I like to get to the bottom of things. Even if it seems like it's not really that deep. Maybe it's deeper than you realize. There's a lot of parts of even this earth that we have not discovered, especially in the ocean. And the earth is bigger than what we would like to think it is. So it's little things like that. So I hear what you're saying, Blue Skies, but I think it's more than what you think. But let's keep going with this. You said fire pack. Right on, fam. I appreciate that. I appreciate that, fire pack. Let's go. Let's go. Oh yeah, man. You already know, Mr. O. Reach my email. Yeah, reach me on my email, fam. And then you said Coco. She like you or she don't. Simple. Yeah, we might say it's that simple, but it's also at the same time complicated. Okay, but that's the thing people don't want to talk about. Like, what happens? How did it get to that point? Okay, I think that's what a lot of people can overlook to make it seem like, well, it's that simple if she likes you or not. It's not really that simple, but it is simple as to how she can like somebody that she might not even realize herself. But this definitely something that I'm gonna talk about tomorrow night for sure. You said Wando. Yup, we only explored 5% of the ocean. I bet everything is there instead of space. You hit the nail. You hit the nail, Wando. Facts. You hit the nail. Exactly. We a lot of thing is like Professor McTow said one time. We don't realize there's a glass ceiling. There's a glass ceiling to a lot of what we think, even what we have explored. Like we think it's out there in space, but it's within this Earth. But what if Earth and space are the same thing? Hmm. Food for thought. Definitely food for thought. But no matter what it looks like out there, y'all, it's only going to get better from here. And the last time I checked, the meek shall inherit the earth. And also, I'm going to say this the meek shall invade her cosmos. And also, the meek shall receive and accept that starship invading her cosmos to infinity and beyond. And until next time, signing out. Much love to y'all. Thanks for stopping by once again. Yes, thank you all for stopping by once again.